car crashes, underage arrests, and accidental teeth mishaps. As the daughters of a former president, Jenna and Barbara Bush may seem like they have it all, but they've also faced their share of hardships. As regular viewers of Today will already know, Jenna Bush Hager has always been open about the struggle she's faced with her body image. As she revealed on the NBC show in 2019, the former first daughter began obsessing about her weight in first grade. While discussing one particular entry in her first grade journal, Jenna said, "I could barely write, and I certainly couldn't spell, and my New Year's resolution was to lose 4 pounds, and I actually scratched out 7 and wrote 4. Barbara had actually been the one to find the journal and had initially tried to hide it from her twin sister over fears it would be too upsetting. Sadly, the young Jenna remained hung up about her size throughout her school years. She told the Today audience in 2023, "It's so interesting because people really do hit you right where it hurts. I had a boyfriend in 7th grade who broke up with me after we went swimming together, after he saw me in a bathing suit." While most teenagers who get caught underage drinking are allowed to forget about it, Jenna and Barbara were named and shamed in front of the entire world. In the former's case, this happened on 2 separate occasions within the space of a month. Jenna's wild past began in the spring of 2001 when she was charged with underage drinking after being spotted by undercover cops in Austin, Texas. The first daughter was subsequently ordered to attend 6 hours of classes on drink awareness and undergo 8 hours of community service. Unfortunately, this didn't appear to serve as much of a deterrent. Just a couple of weeks later, Jenna found herself in trouble with the law for the exact same reason. Only this time, she wasn't alone. Jenna had tried to purchase alcohol at a branch of the Tex-Mex chain restaurant Chuy's with a fake ID, while accompanied by Barbara. After pleading no contest, she was given a similar punishment to her previous misdemeanor and was also sentenced to 3 months of probation. You might expect that the daughters of a United States president would be chauffeured around for their entire lives, but Jenna and Barbara Bush both still insisted on getting behind the wheel themselves. While that may be applaudable in theory, the reality was that they presented a constant menace to the nation's roads. As Jenna admitted during a 2024 episode of Today, she and her sister got into a combined total of 13 accidents in their first year of driving. She told viewers, "I had a little impulse control issues. My brain developed a little later, so I would just put it on, get in the car, speed back without ever looking back. Unfortunately, things don't appear to have gotten much better since her brain fully developed." Jenna went on to add, "I got in one total wreck in my one driveway of late."
Total loss.
Luckily, neither Bush sibling suffered a serious injury during their unlucky 13. In 2023, Jenna revealed live on Today that before giving birth to children Mila, Poppy, and Hal, she had suffered the heartbreak of a miscarriage. She opened up to co-host Hoda about her experience with an ectopic pregnancy.
And at the time, because I had to have surgery, it felt really hard.
Although this was the first time that Jenna had gone completely public with the news, it wasn't entirely a secret.
Mila loves to tell people, "Mommy had a baby that died." I'm like, Mila, strangers.
Thankfully, Jenna has been able to take something positive from such a traumatic time. She explained, "When I look at those 3 kids' faces, had that baby lived, the other 3 wouldn't necessarily be mine. And I always think about those little twists that felt like the hardest heartbreaks." In the late 90s, George W. Bush sat his 16-year-old twin daughters down to inform them of his rather lofty political ambitions. He was going to campaign to become the 43rd president of the United States. Unfortunately for the future president, his daughters' reaction wasn't the one he wanted. While speaking about the interaction on an episode of Today several decades later, Jenna recalled her and Barbara's responses, telling viewers, "We broke out in tears. As only twins can do, we cried in unison. We said, 'No, you're going to ruin our lives, Dad.'" If that wasn't enough, the pair also insisted that their father would have no chance of making it to the White House anyway.
Wow. And as an adult,
do you feel like, I'm
we
so sorry,
publicly apologized.
Wait, really?
Oh yeah, that was horrible.
While a young Jenna may have had a fighting chance of forging her own path, her sister could never get away from the fact that she was a member of an American political dynasty. By sharing the same name as her grandmother, a former First Lady, Barbara Bush was teased throughout her childhood. Jenna explained to her Today co-host in 2025, "Imagine going to a big public high school and they'd be like, 'Barbara Bush.' They'd be like, 'Yo, Barbara Bush,' and everybody laughed, and so she was embarrassed. In fact, her poor sibling couldn't even order fast food back in the day without being mocked." Jenna added, "She would call and she had a little sweet voice too, and she'd call Domino's to order pizza and they would think that she was pranking. She'd be like, 'My name is Barbara Bush,' and they'd be like, 'What? You liar. Hang up.'"
It's haunted me.
Following the death of her grandmother in 2018, however, Barbara started to appreciate her moniker. During a 2025 appearance on Today, guest Regina Hall turned the tables on Jenna when she started asking questions like, "Did you have fun when you dated your husband?" The response probably wasn't what the actor or the audience at home were expecting. Although Jenna made sure to point out that she did have fun dating future spouse Henry Chase Hager, she wished she played the field a little more beforehand. She said, "When I met my husband, that was it. I wish in college, I knew I loved him. I mean, he walked in and I said to Barbara, of course the cute one has a girlfriend, but I just mean in college, I felt a little restricted by Secret Service men if I'm really honest. So I kept my numbers low." Jenna went on to add that the Secret Service had gotten in the way throughout much of her teenage years. Although Hall did her best to reassure Jenna that she was lucky to have found the one so early, the host still expressed regret that she didn't have a little more fun. Jenna wasn't the only daughter of the 43rd President of the United States to have a college experience impacted by outside forces. While promoting their shared memoir, Sisters First, Stories from Our Wild and Wonderful Life on Today, Barbara recalled how she was targeted by one particular teacher due to her dad's controversial involvement in a major international conflict. She said, "I did go to meet with one of my TAs at Yale. I hadn't been getting great grades in the class, so I went to meet with her to find out how to be better, and she said to me, 'I'll give you an A if your dad doesn't go to war in Iraq.'" When asked by host Matt Lauer how she responded to this inappropriate offer at the time, Barbara revealed that she felt deeply uncomfortable, although she said she managed to take away a valuable life lesson too. She explained, "I saw my teacher as an authority figure, and I thought she would have seen me as just a student, but something that definitely kind of taught me how to use your position if you're in a position of power."
And I didn't end up doing very well in that class, which is fine.
Jenna doesn't appear to have much luck when it comes to completely avoidable injuries. In addition to breaking 3 fingers in separate incidents, the former first daughter also once broke 4 teeth in one fell swoop. Jenna felt inclined to recall the incident after hearing that Kristen Wiig had once chipped a tooth at an SNL after-show bash. Jenna told Today viewers that she was in a drinking and dancing accident, which occurred when her friend started spinning her around in their apartment. When her friend released her, Jenna fell smack dab onto the floor and broke her teeth. Well, kinda. Jenna didn't lose her teeth straight away. In fact, it was only a couple of days later at Jenna's workplace that she was alerted to a major change. She explained, "This lovely intern goes, 'Honey, you have some gray stuff on your teeth. I killed 4 roots.'"
Are we on TV?
babies.
To lose one grandparent is hard enough, but Barbara and Jenna had to deal with losing 3 within the space of just over a year. Barbara Bush was the first to die in April 2018 at the age of 92. Then George H.W. Bush passed away 7 months later at the age of 94. Then their maternal grandmother, Jenna Hawkins, died just a couple months short of her 100th birthday in May 2019. An emotional Jenna told Today viewers in 2020, "I know many people go through the grief and the beauty of reflecting on the people we lose and love, but I think they're always whispering to me, as long as I'm alive, my grandparents will not be forgotten. I hear their voices in the letters they sent me and in my memories. They offer comfort, support, and guidance, and I will listen to them always." Jenna found herself in the full throes of mom guilt in 2024 when her family's beloved pet went missing.
It was kind of my fault.
Jenna told the Today Show audience that her 11-year-old daughter Mila's cat, Hollywood, had crept out the front door unnoticed during a children's birthday bash she was hosting. Although Jenna and her husband Henry tried everything they could to find her, the cat was never seen again. Mila subsequently spent 3 consecutive nights in her mom's bedroom in tears. Hoda even recalled to Jenna, "Sometimes right before we went on air, you were crying, not just about the loss of your cat, but about Mila." After several months, however, the Bush-Hager family decided it was time to introduce another cat into the fold. Jenna added, "Hopefully Holly will come smell that little kitty and be like, 'Who's getting in there with my parents?'" Having co-hosted NBC's Today together for so long, Jenna was always going to find it hard to deal with the departure of Hoda. Even so, she was still surprised at just how emotional she became over the change in personnel. Jenna told the Today audience about the first time she heard the news, saying, "I was like, wait, you can't go."
You are so beloved, and you've made every single one of us feel adored.
In fact, she was so stunned by the development that she needed to contact her mother and father for some reassurance. She added, "I was crying in such a way that they thought something really bad had happened. When they found out that it was just that Hoda was ready to move on to other chapters, they said, 'Oh Jenna, it's gonna be okay.'" Although Jenna still misses her old colleague, she's also happy that Hoda is carving a new path. She said on Today, "I'm so proud of Hoda. I think she's doing exactly what she needs to do at this moment for her.